Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's not a typical genre I normally film. I feel like I just by sitting here with all my little electronics, but I would say it is a little bit more of a tech review we're going for today. Now, as an avid gym goer, influencer, fitness enthusiast, whatever you want to call it, I need a good pair of earphones when I am at the gym 4 to 5 times a week. Now, I know you may be thinking, Clarissa, you can get affordable ones on Amazon, at Walmart. Girl, I've tried. I just personally feel that inexpensive ones don't have long battery life, they break quicker, and they just don't have that quality feel. Now, also don't get me wrong, I love my Beats, but these are overhead earphones, and you may think, Clarissa, why don't you just wear these to the gym? No, honey, these are too bulky. You know, I can't be doing my overhead press and knock it off. It's not a good time. So these have gotten through many things. I've been on location shoots with these back when I was in school. You know, I'd plug these into the camera, I could hear the audio amazingly. And you know, my late nights editing for my YouTube channel as well as for school, these are the bomb. You know, even when you have those crying babies on airplanes, these are great. But I do need smaller, compact, no wires, so wireless, Bluetooth, earphones for the gym. So I thought it was time to step it up and create this video called Battle of the Buds. And I am going to review / compare 3 different wireless Bluetooth in-earbud earphones with no wires other than the charging cords. And I'm gonna kind of show you what I do when I'm at the gym or my daily walks, little things like that to show what I personally use them for. And I want to just quickly throw in a disclaimer here. None of these brands are sponsoring this video or have sent me any of this. All purchased by my money, myself, and one of the earphones I borrowed from my boyfriend for this video. So I'm not making any money in any of those ways. I just wanted to bring an informative piece out for you guys if you're struggling with trying to narrow down what are the best gym earphones for you or anything living a active lifestyle, because that's what these are catered towards for me. Now, you didn't think I would go ham on this video, but I did some extensive research to do some comparisons and get the specs and the deets of each product, so I can really show you what is going through my thought process and how I've come to my conclusion, which you'll have to wait to get to the end of the video to see which pair of earphones that I will actually be going with. We're gonna start with the Airpods, the first generation Airpods. Now, when I did some research on this product, it said that these were actually released back in 2016, and I don't know about you, but I'm like, okay, it's 2019 now, and I can't remember them being that hyped back then. I barely remember see them being worn. Now I see AirPods everywhere I turn. I kid you not. When I'm bartending, there are regulars that will just pop them in their ears. When I was at school, people would always have them in their ears at the gym. My gym here in my hometown, people are just surrounded wearing them. And even people doing a little office work here and there are wearing them. So it's safe to say it's a very daily use type product. You kind of see them everywhere. So this little guy here, I like to call a futuristic type looking product. You can tell it's an Apple product just by the beautiful futuristic curvature. It's very sleek, it's very small, it's very compact, very Apple. So you pop this little guy open and here you have 2 AirPods. Now these look very clean and they look sleek. I personally, not just to be biased, but I do think they look a little better on females because I think it almost like kind of accents your earring. Now, I may sound ridiculous saying that, but I do think that the hanging of the pod looks a little bit more feminine. So I do really like the physical appearance of these. They look nice. Now, they have seamless connectivity. As soon as you connect to your iPhone, a little pop-up screen pops up of this case spinning around and then popping open and showing you how to connect. these to your device. Now these connect with so many devices. I'd be here all day listing them, but you can just go on Apple's website and you can just kind of see what it can connect to and if it can connect to your personal product. And I've had no problem connecting them to my laptop, but I have had some issues connecting with my phone, which I'll get into a little bit later on into the video. The weight of the AirPods, they are about 4 grams per each pod. So they are very, very lightweight, and you can also lose them very, very easily. I will say that were multiple times where I have forgotten this case on the treadmill, and I've had the AirPods in my ears, or vice versa. I'll just misplace them. They're so small, and it's like in size comparison to my hand, they're really small. With the charging case, in weight, it is now 38 grams. Now I will throw the dimensions on the screen here for the AirPods. They are quite small, like I said, very, very easy to lose. So be aware. So these AirPods come with sensors. So dual beam folding microphones. I'm just gonna say that you can easily answer a call, and when you're connected to the call, the other person on the end can hear you pretty seamlessly. I haven't had a problem with that yet. However, I don't take many calls when I'm at the gym. Dual optical sensors, motion detecting accelerometers for speech, and speech detecting accelerometer. So in simple terms, you can ask Siri your questions and it will respond. It will pick up quite easily. The other pro to this is it has a autoplay and auto pause option. So as you pull it out of your ear, because somebody has come up to you at the gym now to start to have a conversation, it automatically pauses. And then as you put the earphone back in, it starts to play again. Now at first I thought this was a very interesting concept, and as I started to wear them more and more at the gym, they became so much more useful. I typically go to the gym a lot with my boyfriend, and I find that in the middle and between sets we are updating each other with little things here and there, and it's very convenient to just quickly pull out, quickly put back in. There's no ear hook, nothing complicated about this piece. I'm gonna pull up another spec here, and this is for the actual powering of the AirPods themselves. So the AirPods with the charging case have more than 24 hours of listening time, and then 18 hours of talk time. AirPods with a single charge have up to 5 hours of listening time and 3 hours of talk time. And then that random time where they're dead and you're like, holy crap, I gotta get going, but I need my AirPods. I cannot go to the gym without them. So you pop them into the charger for 15 minutes, which is recommended on the Apple website. You have up to 3 hours of listening time and up to 2 hours of talk time. So let's lock down some prices now. We're getting into the price category. I am a Canadian citizen. I also live in Canada, meaning things are a little more expensive than North America. So these, when I purchased them, were $219 at retail value. And with taxes all in, I paid $247.47. Let's get into the colorways or options for these AirPods. There is none. That was one disappointing factor, I did think. However, I really do like white. White and rose gold and pinks are kind of my go-to colors for my electronics. If you look at my stuff, that's kind of the aesthetic that I like. So white didn't bother me too much. It's just a classic clean color. Again, looks very futuristic, and it's in talks that there will be more colors in the future coming out. However, you can get different colored cases, like pod cases, off Amazon and other brands like that. Let's get into the claims about the sweat-proofness and water resistance. Again, there is none. Now, although you do see many people wear these at the gym, there's no claim saying that they are water resistant and sweat proof. So it's not, it's kind of like the unwritten rule, like you wear them, they're usually fine, but had something gone wrong with too much sweat got in them, say you're profusely sweating at the gym and that's what killed one of the pod's speakers or something like that. I don't know how all the internal such stuff works. I'm not sure what the warranty would cover for that because they don't have the claim of it being water resistant or sweat proof anywhere on their website. Lastly, I'd like to say that the warranty is 1 year, which is a safe time, I would say, for an electronic use, especially if you use it as many times a week as I do. It really gives you that amount of time to test it in so many different climates and active workouts, just going about your daily life. You know, you can really test your stuff in that amount of time. Apple does have a 14-day return policy though, which is a very tight window. And now I'm gonna get on to my personal experience with these before I jump on into the next earphones. The AirPods I'm holding up here are my boyfriend's first generation ones. And he pretty much swears by these. They work really well for him. He has had no problems. I have had a different story. So I don't have them here to show because I have returned them at this point. So immediately you can tell that I've eliminated them from this video of which ones to choose. But I had these second generation ones, and I was convinced at the store by one of the people who worked there that they were the same price when the second generation ones came out, so why wouldn't you get the ones with the newer specs and changes and all that stuff? And I figured, you're right, why not? So I got the second generation AirPods. I was having so much problems connecting my Bluetooth earphones, the AirPods, to my iPhone 7. I think I have the 7. I always forget if I have the 7 or the one generation after. I constantly had to click disconnect, forget device, reconnect, and it was a whole situation. Every time I was at the gym, I was there for at least 10 minutes figuring out my AirPods, and it was getting really frustrating. I went to the Apple store, I had updated the software, which is what they recommended at the store, and I'm very stubborn when it comes to updating my software. I do not like to do it unless I'm absolutely forced to and I can no longer use my phone unless I update it. I was at that point, so I had everything backed up and I did update my phone. So now, having them connect to my phone, the AirPods, they connected seamlessly, they connected a lot quicker, within seconds. I didn't have to waste 10 minutes before my gym session every single time. A week goes by. My right AirPod constantly is in the red zone of dying. And I could not figure out and put the puzzle pieces together of why this was, because I never listened to just one AirPod at the gym. Even when I'm having a conversation, I take out the AirPod and it pauses completely. The music obviously isn't playing in just the left ear. My boyfriend sometimes has one out when he is at work or doing tasks. He is just listening to one. So that problem I could see happening to him, but it never does. I always listen with both, and I somehow always had the right one dying on me. I would go in, I would plug it in at night, I'd wake up, go in the morning. My kind of fault for not doing this, but I wouldn't check the AirPods. I would assume they're charged. I'd go to the gym, I'd unclip the case, I'd put them in, and the right one still says dead. I go back to the Apple Store for a second time, and now they have told me that they're gonna run some tests. They ran some tests, and he replaced just the right AirPod. Okay, thank you, Apple, for doing that. However, what happens if it happens with the left one? Why wouldn't you just give a customer a whole new set? Just a whole new AirPod set, like a whole case, 2 new pods. You're spending $247 on this device. Doesn't make sense to me. Whatever. I took it, moved on. So all this is all written in the system under Clarissa's profile. I go to the gym, I have a couple workouts, it's still happening. And it's the right AirPod, which is the one that they just had fixed, or I guess replaced. Before the third time, I called, and the customer service representative said she couldn't do anything over the phone. I would have to go into the store and get this solved with the manager, and the manager's supposed to be very strict with the 14-day return policy, and the best she could do is just exchange them for a new pod pair. I hope you realize at this point I was so frustrated for spending this amount of money and having to waste my time for the third visit to the Apple Store, which is always a good time. I did no longer want this product. I wanted to return it, I wanted my money back, and I wanted to move on to something else. I go to the store, I ask for the manager directly. Super, super sweet woman. I'm very glad I had someone nice to deal with because I haven't always had that experience. I told her I'm not happy with these, I don't want them anymore. She said the best she could do is exchange them and then give me a new pair, which now resets the 14-day window of returning them, which, if you could just say in simple words, you could return them. So while I was in the store, we had that happen, and I was about to walk out of the store and I was like, this thought came to me. Why don't I just look at other ones that they sell? So I did just that. I was on the phone with my boyfriend trying to get his opinions and put my opinions together and figure out which earpods can I get next that are not these. So we're gonna jump in to the next earphones right now. So these are the Powerbeats Pro by Dr. Dre, and I'm sorry I didn't have the case, the box to show you for the AirPods. Like I said, they're my boyfriend's, so he doesn't have his box anymore. But guys, you should, FYI, keep your boxes for expensive things like this, because you never know if you have to go back to the store. It comes in this gigantic box. Wow. Very sleek, very nice big box package. Okay, you just see some wrapping. Now, this is what the case looks like. They're a little bit bulkier, okay? I will read the dimensions right now. So the only frustrating thing about this is it wasn't as detailed as the AirPods specs and details on their page. So I'm now on the Powerbeats Pro webpage, not on the Apple one anymore. So these read for 3.04 inches in height, and the weight is 20.3 grams. Now, so it has a little bit more of a weight to it compared to the AirPods for sure. Not as sleek, not as small, not as compact, but decent, still decent. I don't know what it is about this case, but I am quite in love with the feel. I don't know if it feels like a ring box that you like propose to somebody, but it just, I love this magnetic closer. It's great. It's just like the AirPod one in that sense. So it comes with 4 different ear tips that you can replace within the actual EarPod, so it fits your ear perfectly. I haven't needed to do that. The ones that have came with the actual earpiece in the case as default have worked fine, so that's what I've been using. Again, these have a seamless connectivity. As soon as you pop this case open right near your phone, it has the same pop-up little window with this spinning around, all futuristic-y and cool, and asking you to connect to your phone. All right, now I'm gonna get into some technical stuff again, so I'm gonna read off my little cheat sheet here. So for the sensors, it says it has a dual beam forming microphone, a dual optical sensor, a motion detecting accelerometer, a speech detecting accelerometer, and again, to put in simple Clarissa terms, Siri is activated the exact same as AirPods. You can just talk and it will stop and listen to your questions and answer you and all that stuff. And then it has the same option of the auto play and auto pause as soon as you pop that earbud out of your ear, which I really enjoy, like I said. Let's get on to the power of these. With the charging case, you have more than 24 hours of listening time. With the single charge, you have up to 9 hours of listening time. Fast fuel, which is what they like to call it, is that quick 5-minute charge, and it gives you up to 1.5 hours of playback. So not as amazing as the AirPods power, I will say, but not terrible either. Then we get onto the on-ear controls. So you have the volume, track, and call controls on both earbuds. Let's get on into the price of these earbuds. So the price I paid, Canadian dollar, was $329.95. With taxes all in, I paid $372.84. So as you can see, these are a little bit higher in price than the AirPods that we had just shown previous. Are they worth that much more? Getting onto the water resistant and sweat claim, right from their website I took that it said it was built for performance with a reinforced design for sweat and water resistance. It makes my heart very happy when it says things like that, because then I know I can use it for the gym and I can sweat my butt off on leg day. Color choices. In Canada, there's only one, which is really unfortunate because, like I said, I really have an aesthetic to go with my gymnasts, and black is not one of them. I like black. It's like at least a good default color. It's not some crazy color, but come on, guys, like bring some nice colors. In the US, they have the colors ivory, which 100% would have been my first pick, moss, which is a army green color, navy, and then black. And again, the warranty is 1 year. But if you buy from the Apple Store, you also have that 14-day return and exchange. We are now coming to the last pair of earphones that I'm reviewing in this video. And we are on the Bose SoundSport Free wireless earphones. So this box is also a little bit bulky. It feels like something I would buy more at Best Buy for sure. I purchased my pair from Amazon. So you open this box, nice and sleek. I do like how it has this nice magnetic opening, kind of like a storybook. And then the case came right in the center. And then you open this and it has some more gadgets. So you have some more earpieces and you have a charging cable. So let's start with some specs for these. It comes with 3 sizes of sport tips. Now, again, I just stick with the default ones. I haven't needed to change them out yet. These work very well for me and my ear shapes. I will say it's not as seamless of a connectivity option. You have to download a whole separate app to your phone to connect with these. Now that can be a little frustrating because, you know, now you have more apps, more clutter on your phone. It didn't bother me too much, but it is that extra step you do have to take with this. I quickly forgot to mention the case is like a longer ovular tube. I don't like this one. I would say this is probably the least nice looking for sure. It's just, this one just, you know, there's just something to it I love. And then the AirPod one, just is the smallest, lightest, compact thing ever. And now we have a separate cord. It's a USB cable to charge this little guy, and it isn't the lightning USB cord that comes with like Apple products like your iPhone, like I mentioned earlier, that can connect also into your earphones. So that's a little bit annoying, like I said. Also, it's just that extra step. The weight, now it was really hard to track down the weight because it didn't give as many dimensions as I wanted, but it said the headphones are 9 grams each, and then the case is 80 grams. The dimensions of the headphones I will pop on the screen here, and the case of the earphones as well I will pop up on the screen here. Now let's get on to the sensors. So there isn't many sensors. Obviously there is, because they're wireless and Bluetooth, but it doesn't have all that fancy writing like it did for the Powerbeats Pro and the Airpods. So I will just quickly tell you that it's funny because the first time I wore these, I left my phone with my gym bag and my boyfriend and his stuff while I went to go use the bathroom, and I had my earphones still on, and as I'm walking I hear Clarissa's phone lost. And then after I finished in the bathroom, like at first I giggled. I was like, that's really funny. It's like a lost child, but like lost earphones. And I walked back over to where my boyfriend was. My earphones reconnected and said, Clarissa's earbuds found. I really like that they have that like lost earphone tracker, because I told you how many times I've left this on the treadmill, and once actually in Europe on the treadmill, and thank God someone brought it to the front desk and we spoke English and we got it back. But that's a nightmare because you spend so much money on something you freaking love and then you lose it. And of course it has Siri activation as well. It doesn't have the auto pause and auto play option, so that can be a little frustrating because now I have to actually click a physical button, and it's been a little annoying so far just because I'm not used to having to click a button. I'm so used to just pulling it out and it pausing. So I think I just have to get used to like finding where the button is on my ear and just always know where I'm gonna have to click. Let's get on to the power category. Now for this power category, it didn't have as many specs as the other ones. It was like way less. So the charging time is 2 hours, and the battery life for that is 5 hours per full charge. So the case provides up to 2 full charges. Let's get on into the price. Like I mentioned, I purchased these off Amazon because they actually did have a deal going, so it was the perfect time to try these out. So the list price was $249. The sale price was $219. And then how much I paid all in was $247.47 with my taxes. Getting into the water resistance and sweatproof claim, it says it is water resistant. Again, it makes my heart happy when it says that. Let's move on to the color choices. The color choices were a little wild. And when I mean wild, I just mean bright and fun and colorful and not so like muted and dull, which for my earphones, I really don't want wild and fun unless they had hot pink, which they did not. So it comes in black. It comes in midnight blue, so the outside of the earbud is blue and the inside is yellow. The coral on the outside, and then it has navy inside, and then purple outside with black inside. Not my color palette, but I can see how some other people might like that. And the warranty is 1 year. But of course, being purchased on Amazon, they have amazing return policies, so I'm just very thankful that I got them on Amazon. The last thing I wanted to mention about these was there was a manufacturer note on the Apple website. So I'm really glad I actually Googled this as well on the Apple website to see what else they claimed. And it had a little asterisk and it read, "Call audio plays in the right earbud only, so you can use it by itself as a Bluetooth earpiece." I don't know if I like this. Last night I got my dad to call my cell phone so I could test the call option out with these, because like I said, I don't normally answer the phone at the gym, so this was not a big deal to me, but I still wanted to try it out for this video. So he called me, and it was just odd to have one speaker working. So the call, I'm pretty sure, went through both ears, but then once you pick up, it's only on the right. I feel like especially with people who might have harder hearing in one ear as opposed to the other, and not being able to interchange that is really not a good thing. I don't know why Bose had to do that, but they did. So that's just a little thing I wanted to throw in there because I do think it might be an important little feature to know for some people. I have now got to the part of the video where I have a pros and cons list for each earphones. So let's do this in the order that we started. I'll try to get through this a little bit quicker. So for the AirPods, let's hit through those pros. It looks more futuristic. It is good sound quality. The autoplay and the auto pause option is amazing. And it is a minimal, compact product. The cons. Many wireless connecting issues from my personal self. My right AirPod was dead more often than it was charged. I was very tired of going to the Apple Store 3 times, and there is no water resistant and sweatproof claim anywhere written. Getting on to the Beats Power Pro. So this is the right one I have on right now. I'm gonna give it a Pro as it looks like very athletic. This may not be as nice for everyday use, but for what I'm using it for, this is nice. I really like the look of this like ear cuff. Just like the AirPods, it has seamless connectivity to Apple products as well. The sound quality on these are freaking great. The out of earphone pause and play option is amazing as well. And it has the best battery life and quick charge function, as well as it is water resistant. Now let's get to the cons. It only comes in black in Canada. They're very expensive and a significant amount more than the other 2. They are the bulkiest case out of all 3 earphones. And this is just a really personal con, but I get very confused of how to put them back in the case. Now that may seem ridiculous and silly to you, but I feel like every time I'm standing there for like a few minutes trying to figure out what way these are supposed to click back in. And I know you're supposed to line up the 2 silver dots with these 2 silver dots so they properly charge, but man, I get confused every single time. And even putting it on my ear, like you're just supposed to kind of like push it in and then this cuff just like slides right back. But I can't do it seamlessly. Like I'm always struggling to get it in there fitting nicely. Now let's get on to the Bose. So I'm just going to pop this one in my ear so I can kind of show you. So a Pro, the sound quality of these are impeccable. I think they're the best out of all 3. So I'm just gonna leave it at that Pro. The Find My Earbuds tracker, amazing. I love that feature for someone who's lost their AirPods a few times now and did not have a air tracker on those. And they're water resistant. Let's get on to the cons. They look a wee bit odd on my ears. And by that, I mean, I think I look a little bit like a bug because they stick out. They're like circles that stick out of your ears. So I don't think the physical look is that beautiful. It looks like I'm a monkey because they stick out of my ears. Another con is the left one is a little bit tricky to immediately start playing music. I don't know why, but when I put them in and they start playing, I have to click this one random button on the left in order for this one to start playing too. It's happened the last couple times. I don't know why. I don't know if that's an issue or that's supposed to happen. I definitely have to do some research, but that is what the left one has been doing. And of course, they're not as seamless with connectivity within Apple products just because you do have to download that app. You don't just have that little pop-up window that I said comes up for the other earphones. There is a little bit of an annoying pause and play button because that is smack in the middle of the earphone. So if I don't perfectly hit it every time when I need to go have a conversation with someone, I'm like, okay, now you can start talking. There's no out-of-ear automatic pause and play option. And the color choices are just a little too bright for my liking. And the last thing is they're a little bit bulky. So as you see here on my piece of paper, I have a little spot that says conclusion. We're about to conclude it right now. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. By obvious elimination, I had already returned my personal AirPods, so those will not be winning for this video. The Powerbeats Pro were a little bit too expensive for what I was getting, so those will also be eliminated from this video. The earbuds that I will be wearing to the gym and loving for the next little while will be the Bose SoundSport earphones. Yay! Now you may think, Clarissa, you had so many cons written for the Bose ones, and I know, but honestly, I'm nervous to go back to the AirPods, even if they're gonna give me a brand new set because of all the reasons I did claim. And then the Beats ones just aren't worth how much I spent. I already spent that much on my big overhead earphones, and that's for a completely different task. Now I do want good sound quality, I want water resistance. I know I look a little bit like a bug at the gym, a little creature with the earphones, but that doesn't bother me too much. Like, Earphones are earphones, you're there to work out. So that is how I came to my conclusion. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's different than anything I've done before on my channel, but I had a lot of fun filming it for you guys and getting all the B-roll clips and turntable stuff and product shots. It was definitely a fun time. So if you guys think that I should film anything like this in the future, please leave a comment down below and give me any suggestions you think. Don't forget to give this video a like, a little thumbs up. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I have a new upload for everyone. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be subscribed to my channel and join the family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.